Hello my loves and welcome back, or welcome if you're new to this channel, or I should rather say welcome to take 20. Today I will be answering 4 questions in regards to boundaries. Getting your man to be your dream man is actually possible, and you can do it by following a few simple steps. My girlfriends and I have interminable debates about this topic. It's something that often feels like a continuous hassle that we have to deal with in our romantic life. It's a topic that has complexity, plus it has important ramifications whether you decide to implement boundaries in your relationship or not. Every situation is unique, so it's very important for us to discuss things openly, using all kind of examples, stories, etc. So I encourage you to please leave your comments below. This way we can expand our knowledge and help each other grow, which is the objective of this channel. Here is an important first question. When should I start setting boundaries? The answer is as soon as possible. It's very important to set the tone in your relationship from the get-go. That will save you a lot of time, energy, and possibly a lot of tears. We want to be happy and fulfilled, right? We want to have peace and harmony in our relationship. Well, believe it or not, you have to work for it. We are all different. Our character is different. The way we see things is different, and also the way we react to things. When we find that someone who we are compatible with, there is still a lot of differences that we have to work on. I'm sure you all know this expression, and I personally love it. Strike while the iron's hot. I like to think that the iron is the man, and hot meaning before it's not too late. In this context, it's referring to setting the tone right away. When the relationship is fresh, you have one chance to make a first impression. Make the right one from the beginning of dating. Let him understand that he has to work hard and play by your rules to have you. The rule that I'm talking about is very simple actually, and it goes like this. You have to do only what you think is right for you. What you think is right for the relationship you expect to have, the way you expect to be treated, yourself, your family, friends, whatever, and whomever is important to you. When we feel that something is not right, when you feel confused or you aren't being treated the way you expect, speak up. Don't be a man pleaser. Do not adopt the role of the nice and understanding girlfriend or wife, whichever the case may be. The nice and understanding girlfriend or wife is the girl who's acting as if she's not bothered by anything. She's cool and easygoing with everything. The message that he gets from you being like that is that you are easy, not easygoing, easy. He thinks that it doesn't matter what he does wrong or if he acts improperly, you will never or rarely hold him accountable. Don't play that role. Men like women who they have to work for, even though they give the impression they don't. But don't believe it. It's just a game. Unfortunately, this is the world that we live in. We live in a world full of games and players, and we have to raise up to the challenge. However, choose your game, which means choose what you want and play your game, not someone else. I'll give you a little example. Something that I often see, and it leaves me speechless each and every time. Men who look at other women when they are out with their girlfriend or wife. In my opinion, if you see your man looking at other women when you're next to him, you should say something the first time it happens. No matter how other people put it, I believe is wrong. And I don't mean when it's one glimpse. Let's say you are out, okay, and you're the girlfriend and wife, and he's going like this. Okay? That just means that he's noticing someone interested. I'm actually referring to when he looks multiple times, or you are noticing a strange behavior on his part. part, that curious, wondering look, just like that. You know what I mean? This is not a matter of lack of confidence or jealousy on your part. In my opinion, this is a matter of respect. If he does that when he's around you, what is he doing when you're not around? If he does that knowing that you may notice and get you upset, if he has eyes for another woman when you are around, for any reason, do not allow that kind of behavior. If you tolerate that early in the relationship, he may love you to death now, but believe me when I tell you that you are going to regret it later. A way to react to that, if you're wondering, is to be very serious and to tell him that such behavior is unacceptable. And if it happens again, you might reconsider the relationship and his feelings for you. And then continue by asking him how would he feel if you were out with him and you will exchange looks with another man. By reacting this way, you teach him how it's done. So next time he won't do it again. I would in fact continue to make an even stronger argument by telling him that I'm disappointed. I have eyes only for him and I never notice anybody else when I'm with him. So now, poor me, I'm so confused and wondering why is he noticing other women? When you do this, you are making it sound like now you're doubting his feelings for you. And you are considering taking a step back. Why? In order to reanalyze the relationship. The objective here is to manipulate the situation in your favor each and every time. So instead of him analyzing this, if this is a weakness on your part, you are doing the opposite. You are showing strength, that you are mature about your feelings, and way above him by not having that kind of behavior. You are giving him a valuable lesson on how to be respectful towards you. If, as a result of speaking up, he uses tactics such as telling you things are wrong about you, using words like difficult, crazy, jealous, etc., keep maintaining your position. Understand that this is a defense mechanism to justify his behavior, so he won't have to admit he was wrong or having to apologize. It's like telling a thief to admit that he or she is a thief. It won't happen. When people apologize, they admit that they were wrong. Not a lot of people have that admirable capability. Continue to keep your standards up. And by doing that, two things will happen. Two things that will be very revealing in terms of where you stand in your relationship. One, he'll stick around, accept your boundaries, continue to date you, and change the things you don't like in his behavior. Or two, he'll withdraw from your life because he's not getting what he wants from you, or he doesn't like you enough to change for you. Women often have the wrong impression that there is something wrong with them if a man leaves their life. And they question whether they were right or wrong in how they reacted to certain situations. My advice is not to question yourself. He left your life because you caught him in a lie. Period. End of story. A lie that most men don't admit to, and 90% of the time, you won't even find out the real truth. If you lost such men, in my eyes, you are a tough cookie, an extraordinary woman, and all I see for you is a brilliant future. Let's use some other useful examples. Let's see, you just met and he always wants to see you late in the evening. Anything after 9 p.m. is questionable in my opinion. You don't ever see him after 9 p.m. if you have a tiny hint that he's acting improperly. Set the tone on how you want to be treated by saying things like, I like to have dinner not later than 6 p.m. or I like to be in bed by 11 p.m. You set the tone. This way, you put in his head the idea that you are available only earlier if he pretends he doesn't get it and he continues to ask you to meet with him late, don't ever see this guy again. He's completely disregarding your desires. You want to go out with a gentleman, not with this guy. Here is another example. He suggests that you should get off the phone when you talk to your family or friends because supposedly it's too long in order to prioritize him, obviously. My advice on that is that you should not get off the phone because he suggests so. Right away, you should make him understand that he is an important part of your life. You probably spend the most time with him, but you come in a package with your family and friends, and they're as important, if not the most important. Here is an example of the way to respond in a situation like that. Gina and her boyfriend are going jogging one morning. As they get out, Gina's parents call. They used to speak on a daily basis, but they haven't spoken in 3 days. While Gina was talking to them, her boyfriend was suggesting that she should call them later. There's actually nothing wrong with that so far. Gina likes to please him most of the time, with a few exceptions here and there. You know what I mean? This time was one of those exceptions because she thought it was wrong. She told her boyfriend to please wait. She spoke to her parents for 30 minutes that morning. After she hanged up, genuinely caring about her boyfriend's feelings, she gently told him the following, and I quote, "I totally get where you're coming from. We are out walking and you don't want me on the phone, but you have to be able to put things in perspective and put yourself in my shoes. I live far away from my parents. I get to see them once a year. I haven't spoken to them in 3 days, and they happen to call me not in the best time. I'm sorry, but my parents miss me and I want my parents to know I'm always available for them, that I'm always there for them and I'm reachable." End of quote. As a result of the talk, her boyfriend never did that again. Why do you think? Because how she approached the situation. Instead of telling him off, she did the opposite. She firmly knocked some sense into him. So he got the message loud and clear, and there was no reason to fight it. She actually took his ability to fight it. He understood that Gina prioritizes her parents as much as she prioritizes him. There is no competition. You want him to respect the people that are dear to your heart. This is how you do it. If you want him to react well to change, there are 2 ways to do that. 1, avoid conflict and escalating things at all costs. And 2, avoid pointing out things he does wrong as if this is a revenge for something from the past. You want him to respect your boundaries, not start a war or start a he says, she says situation. You know, this might as well happen with someone that you know for 8 years. The homework never ends, no matter how far along you are in your relationship. The point is that everyone understands when you are explaining things in a gentle, mature, firm, and convincing way. Nobody will understand any message through criticism, judgment, yelling, screaming. The way we communicate with the people around us is extremely important. Here's another example. You firmly believe that Christmas should be spent with the family, but he's inviting you to Fiji for Christmas. It's tempting, but still, do not accept the invitation. Do the right thing and he'll respect you for that. He'll say, "Wow, this girl knows what she wants. I can manipulate her, I can buy her, she has backbone. I either change my ways for her or lose her because she's willing to walk away if I don't." He'll also love that you are prioritizing your family and will appreciate your strong values. Another example that I'm thinking about. Let's say you've been dating and the marriage conversation came up. He promised he'll marry you. He even mentioned a specific month, but when the time comes, things keep popping up and he keeps postponing it. He does that once or twice. That's it. You had enough. At this point, the idea is obsessing you. You have a bad feeling and you are becoming increasingly insecure. Excuse me. You desperately want to know what is going on, and I don't blame you. The reason he does that is because he is not considering it at the moment for whatever reason. But he's still hurting your feelings, right? You want your man to keep his promises to you. Well, the reason he's doing that is not him, it's actually you. Because you are letting him set the rules. Whether because you are too nice, or too naive, or too afraid to lose him. If you want to marry him, gather some strength, take him to dinner, and firmly ask him out of the blue with a serious face, just like this. Can I ask you a question? When are we getting married? And then you stop. You stop to hear what he has to say. I know it's not the romantic way you envision, but it is what you really want. Will you rather wait and dream about the perfect moment or take the moment and make it perfect? See how he responds. There are 3 ways he'll respond to that. He'll either say, all right, whenever you want, or I can do it for blah 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 reasons. Or, this is my favorite one, we've been fighting a lot lately and we should get to know each other better. People usually spend about 4 years together before they get married. Trying to convince you with that? If his answer is the second or the third example, which is not what you want to hear, stand up before he even finishes his answer and leave the table. This is a very powerful move. Do not wait for him to give you any kind of explanation. That's your boundary right there. You don't want to waste any more time with a man who's not dying to marry you. If later on he comes back to his senses, don't give in right away. Keep him on his toes and make him work hard to regain your trust and your attention. Keep telling him that you don't want to marry him anymore and that you are done with the relationship, okay? Because the point is, if he doesn't desperately, with an emphasis on desperately, try to get in touch with you, followed by a definite date to get married, leave him. You are wasting your time with this guy. Second question, what are the changes that I should make about myself? You may ask yourself what you should change about your modus operandi, and I always say this. Be yourself in every possible way. Be you. By being yourself, you always win, even if you have to lose something or someone along the way. I had this girlfriend actually who was unsuccessful in securing a relationship for 10 plus years, and she always thought that by trying to be someone else she would bring more success. Couldn't be further from the truth. We are animals and we sense fakeness from a mile away. When you lie, you forget your lies, plus you leave a lie. Not being yourself makes you create a certain energy around you, energy that is detected by our invisible sensor called intuition, and is the strongest repellent for the people who you meet. To give you an example, she says she would like to be like Marilyn Monroe towards men that excuse me, that meant she wanted to be more sexual, sensual, soft-spoken, sensitive, etc. This is how far she went, thinking that that's what men really want most of all, something so different from what her personality was. She was so insecure that she felt the need to change the way she was in order to be liked by men. She wanted to fit in a little box. So she changed her voice and she started behaving like a silly girl around men. And I want to point something out, which is kind of crazy. This girl is gorgeous. So beauty is a tool, but it's not everything. Eventually, all these men couldn't care less about her beauty. Once she opened her mouth, it was a deal breaker. And I witnessed that. So the formula is as follows. When we are being ourselves, we get the right man for us. Opposed to when we are being what we think he wants, we get the wrong man. When we are being ourselves naturally, we attract men who like us for who we are. Trying to be someone else is disrespectful to ourselves, to our principles and values. Do you think he won't notice your lack of self-esteem? Your insecurities are bullshit. Are your imagination playing tricks on you? Most of the things that we see about ourselves is it's a buildup of self-criticism that people around us don't even see it. Our insecurities, overthinking, and the constant need to prove ourselves is what messes everything up. Third question, why is it necessary to have boundaries? Well, because we live most of our lives with our partner. We want that time to be wonderful. Look for a man who you see that is open to change. He's caring, patient, empathic, sensitive to you, your needs and desires. But even if he's like that, please, please, please understand that a relationship is hard work, it's continuous work. You never give up fighting for the betterment of that relationship. You can never afford to let your guard down and to not care anymore. A relationship fails when one stops trying. Fourth question, what can I do if he rebels? Well, of course you will encounter that. Most of us do to a certain degree. I do, everybody does. Still, however you men may react, set your boundaries and keep repeating them until they're being assimilated. Set new boundaries if necessary, and reward him when he does what you like, when he makes changes. If he rebels, don't let him off the hook. Don't let his response intimidate you in any way, shape, or form. If the ball is not in your court, then the ball is in his court. That's not what you want. In his defense, he may tell you that you exaggerate with your rules. He may tell you all kind of stuff. Don't take it too hard. If you think it's not true, it probably isn't. He's just trying to manipulate the situation in his favor. Men do that all the time. Yeah, you have to be able to balance things out and compromise for the good of the relationship. But to not accept things that make you unhappy. Because I am telling you this, what you are doing is called expressing your feelings, and that's exactly what you should tell him. And I quote, I'm telling you how I feel, and you are telling me that I shouldn't feel this way? Wow! End of quote. You are telling him what you dislike, and he's rebelling against it like a spoiled baby. Men are babies, sometimes. He'll be shocked by the fact that you are so confident and he can turn you around or break you. He also doesn't like that he can keep doing what he wants to do. Now he has to compromise for the sake of the relationship as well. Will he do it? Let's put it to a test. Put it to the test. So, listening to all this, some of you will say, I don't want to do all that. It seems like too much work. I heard this so many times before. Well, then you have to ask yourself this. This is very important. Why is your love life not good? Why are you experiencing one bad situation after another? Why are you constantly disappointed? Why are you going through the same experiences over and over again? Things are not working out because you are attached to a man who didn't prove that he's committed to you. You put the cart before the horse. You are living a false sense of fulfillment. You keep repeating the same mistakes, which lead to you repeating the same cycle. So you are ironically meeting the same kind of man, reliving the same experience, or slightly different, but with the same result. And I'm sure you know that saying, the definition of insanity is repeating the same mistakes over and over again, but expecting a different result. The truth is that the people we meet are a reflection of ourselves. That means that you attract the opinion you have about yourself. If you really believe that you deserve the best, that you are precious, that you are valuable, You will attract men who will treat you like the princess that you are, like a rare diamond, and repel the men who can raise up to your standards, your belief. And that happens only by testing the relationship. There are three types of people: people who never learn, people who hear and learn from what they hear, and people who already know. Choose to be the second or the third. That's it for today. If you resonate with this video, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you want to be the first one to see my new videos, feel free to press the notification bell. Thank you for sticking with me till the end, and I apologize for the bad lighting. My light ring is not working at the moment. I love you all. Bye for now.